So Bitcoin is currently at $80,000 and it's going to the 200% extension that I had on the chart since we were down here. And yeah, that will complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup that we started all the way back in August. And then after that, we will get a fourth wave. Now, like I said many times, we could get way above that level. And that's where I have these other levels of the chart. So we could even get to about $90,000, maybe even above that in the third wave before we get some kind of real correction. So if the price does not really react to the 200% extension, then we will most likely continue to go back above it. Now, keep in mind, we are overbought on the 4 hours. So maybe we will get some kind of correction. We are also overbought on the daily. And usually when that happens, we get a correction. We are not that overbought like we were up here, for example. So maybe it's safe to assume that we will continue going up. Now, what does this have to do with the altcoins? Well, if you look at Bitcoin dominance, even though Bitcoin is going up, Bitcoin dominance is actually going down. It actually reacted to the 0.618 extension that I have on the chart. And this was not surprising. Like I told you in my previous videos, Bitcoin dominance always goes down in November. And so far we have gone down about, let's say, almost 3%, which is not only a lot when you compare this to what happened in the previous cycle, but it's still a lot, and we will most likely continue going down until the end of the month, just like we did in the previous cycle right here. So here we pretty much went down. Well, actually it was a bit different. Here we actually went up in the first 2 weeks of November, and then we started dropping. But in this cycle, we only went up in the first week of November, and then we started dropping. So yeah, we're not playing exactly what we did in the previous cycle, but it's very, very similar. And I don't know if we will get a December pump, which will put us at like 64% or not. It's very hard to say. We'll see what happens if we touch the bull market support band. So if we touch it and we get below it and we stay below it, then we will most likely not get a pump in December. And many altcoins will get their altcoin season. Now, many altcoins have already started their altcoin season, but of course, they are only in the first wave of their main third wave. Now, before I talk about that, let's actually look at Ethereum, because this is also important and nobody really wants to talk about it. So Ethereum is currently trying to go in a third wave move to the upside. Well, it's already the third wave move, but it's in a much more complicated structure. I don't want to talk about this right now. You should watch my Ethereum videos. And as you can see, Ethereum is going up and it's currently testing the yellow line, which is the moving average of the RSI right here. And if it gets back above that, then yeah, I think it's safe to assume that we have bottomed right here and that we are heading to about $13,000 in the bull market, which has been my target for a very long time now. I also want to look at the other altcoins. So ADA is currently getting a huge pump right now. And like I said, we still need a third wave right here. Now, if you look at the 4-hour chart, yes, it did get a huge pump, but it was not in 5 waves. And at some point, this third wave will need to pop somewhere. And then we will need a fourth wave move down and a fifth wave move up. And once we get to that level, once we get that fifth wave, that will confirm that the main second wave move down is in. And that will confirm that the main third wave to the upside is actually happening. My prediction stays the same. I believe Cardano will top somewhere between $5 to $8. Now, if we look at ICP is also in a 1-2 setup and it's also trying to bounce right now. It's not getting a huge bounce because at the end of the day, Bitcoin dominance did not go down that much. So the coins that are going up right now are pretty much going up on their own. They do not really react to the Bitcoin dominance chart. They just go up because, you know, they're altcoins. But I still believe that ICP will go up in the next couple of months and it will get somewhere between the 1.618 and the 100% extension of this high right here. So it should top somewhere between $87 and $138. But if it is more bullish than everyone is expecting it to be, then we could even get to the 2.618, which is at $223. Now, if we look at XRP, I mean, yeah, do we really want to talk about this? Solana is actually looking very similar to Bitcoin. So if you want an update about Solana, just watch what I say about Bitcoin because it's pretty much copying that chart. And yeah, it will most likely get somewhere between the 200% extension right here and maybe the 3.618 or the 4.618 because at the end of the day, this is a very large 1, 2, 3 setup. So if this is a third wave, which seems very likely right now, then it could be very easy to get to like $1,000 in this cycle. Uniswap is also getting a pump, and yeah, I don't want to repeat myself, but I did tell you that when we were down here, at some point we would need a third wave move, because at the end of the day, the 1-2 setup did not get invalidated, so it was only a matter of time until we actually got some kind of pump. Shiba Inu is also going out right now, but if you can remember, Shiba Inu already went up in a third wave right here, and this was a fourth wave move down. And this is not really bearish, this only means that we will get a fifth wave move up, and that will be the end. But I mean, the wave count could be wrong. Maybe this is some kind of A-B structure, and if that's the case, then the C wave should go up another 10x in my opinion, so whatever it is, it's still bullish. Now Matic, I don't know what's happening with it. It's looking very bad, to be honest with you. I did predict that it will get another low right here, and it did get another low, so there's that. But if we want to stay bullish on this chart, then we kind of have to get moving, and we have to break above this high right here, which is at $1.31, and we are currently at 40 cents. So I don't know if that will happen or not. It's very hard to say. If it does happen, and if we somehow get above these levels, then we should be able to get to around the 100% extension, or maybe even the 1.618 extension of the previous all-time high right here in this next altcoin season. But I cannot really say that it will happen because, first of all, this is not financial advice, and second of all, the Polygon Matic chart is not looking that great. So yeah. Moving on to Near Protocol. Near Protocol is also getting a pump, and I'm pretty much just repeating myself right now. It will mean a third wave move up, and it will top somewhere between, let's say, $40 and $94, but it could go way higher than that because in the previous cycle we led up in a 1-2 setup. So if this is a third wave, then it could be very bullish. And this is why I believe this would be the biggest altcoin season so far. Litecoin is just doing XRT things. Chainlink, I will post a video about this today, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but you know, it's still a 1-2 setup and we need a third wave. Now Polkadot did not actually get a new bear market low right here, and it's now trying to bounce. It's actually above the bull market support band, so this is very interesting. We'll see what happens here. We are obviously very far away from these highs, but we did get above the yellow line on the weekly RSI, and let's actually check out the monthly RSI. We're evidently trying to get above the moving average or the yellow line on the monthly RSI. So if we get above that level, then maybe Polkadot will actually get some kind of altcoin season. Now, of course, it's probably going to continue going up because at the end of the day, whenever we do get an altcoin season, all the altcoins go up, no matter how bad their charts are. So I think you can pretty much forget about this other scenario and about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step up to the downside. I don't think something like that will happen right now, especially when Bitcoin is at like $80,000. So yeah, I'm watching for higher prices right now, and we'll see what happens with Polkadot. Moving on to Dogecoin. Dogecoin is just doing Dogecoin things. I believe it will top somewhere between $1.16 and $3.23. So it should get somewhere in this region right here. And yeah. Now, and I'm going to talk about all of the altcoins in this video because I would just be repeating myself. But, you know, there are some other altcoins like Render that have a much different structure. And it's very hard to say what will happen on this chart because as you can see, we did not really get a huge pump right here. And if you can remember, Render already went up from about 28 cents to about $13, so it already went up quite a lot. Now, I still believe it can go up a lot more than that. I still believe it can go to like, let's say $50 to maybe even $100 in this cycle. But if we continue going sideways, then do not be surprised because it needs to cool off. And so far it has cooled off, as you can see, at least on the weekly RSI, and on the monthly as well, so we are no longer overbought, which is a good sign, because if we do want to go to like $50, I mean, it is possible right now, but it wasn't possible up here, because we were already overbought with the monthly. So this is good, and we'll see what happens. There's also Jasmy, and yeah, another 1-2 setup, I don't want to talk about it. I think Jasmy will get somewhere between the 100% extension right here of this high, and maybe the 2.618, but that's hope here right now. But you never know, we'll see what happens. Some people also told me to talk about Ondo, so let's do that. As you can see, Ondo is a similar looking setup to the Cardano chart. Now, it did not really get a huge pump here, so I'm still expecting the C wave, and that C wave should get to the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup right here, and that is at $1.16. But like I said, it could go way above that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want to support the channel and if you want access to all of our charts. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.